Hello, good day. My name is Jabari Jones, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to join a client to a domain. Let's get started. So the first thing you're going to want to do is have your server ready. I have a video showing you how to install server on VirtualBox. I'll put the link in the description just in case. So you're going to have your operating systems here loaded, and what you're going to want to do before you get anything done in the video is click Settings, and you're going to go to Network. You're going to want to ensure that the host only adapter option is the one that's selected. You're also going to want to get the name and allow VMs. Now, if you select the host only adapter version and you see the word none, what you're going to want to do is go into your VirtualBox preferences and you're going to select host only networks. And what you're going to want to do is enable it and add an host only network. Okay, so once this is completed, make sure all your VMs have this setting. Okay, so before we really get started, what we're going to want to do is install Active Directory onto the server. You're going to click Add Roles, and this is very important because without this it won't work. You're going to press Next, and you're going to make sure you select Active Directory Domain Services. Check the box, and we're going to click Next. Next again. Make sure you read the information here as it is very important. We're going to click Install. Now this install screen is very important. You need to pay close attention as to what is happening at all times when you're installing Active Directory Domain Services. While we're waiting on that, what we're going to do is we're going to try and configure our client which we'd like to join to the domain. So we're going to go to Network, and we're going to want to make sure that sharing is on. Now this is very important. What we're going to want to do is ensure that upon completion of this, you're going to see this warning, one warning, informational message below, and you're going to select this here and you're going to click Next. Now if for some reason while installing these services you just press close, what you could do is press Start, go to Run, and type DC Promo. Once you type that, this wizard would be launched. So we're going to select Next, we're going to select Next again, and we're going to create a new forest. We don't have a forest, so it's not going to be a problem. We're going to give it a name, so what we're going to name it is Jabari.com. Select Next. We're going to wait for that to get done. Network Sharing Center. We're going to network discovery and everything is add-on. We're going to turn off password sharing just for the sake of the tutorial. Alright, this is very important. This is one of the most important steps in installing the domain services. What you have here is basically Windows Server 2000, 2003 and 2008. You need to be very careful as to which you're installing because once you select Server 2008, it will not be able to backdate. So anything running on Server 2003 or Server 2000 will not be able to work. So for the sake of this tutorial, we're going to select 2008 because we have no other domain controllers running. You see it gives you the message here. This is very important. Select Next. Next again is Yes. Yes again. I'm going to leave all this as the same. And we're going to type in a password. We're going to use the same password we use basically to log into the machine. And we're going to select Next. Next. And it's going to install the services. In a client machine, what we're going to want to do while this is installing the Active Directory services, we're going to select Manage Network Connections, and you're going to see this here. We're going to right click on this and we're going to select Properties. We're going to go to version 4, select Properties once more, and we're going to use the following IP address. So we're just going to put in an IP. and we're going to leave the default gateway and the preferred DNS server blank for now, because we're going to do the same thing on the server. And we see it's finished. It's going to ask you to reboot, so we're going to reboot and be back up shortly. Now once you come back, you're going to notice that there's the name Jabari/administrator. So of course we type in the password, and it's going to load all the settings that we changed. Now you're going to notice that once it starts and the initial configuration task come up, you're going to see roles, and you're going to see Active Directory domain services and DNS server have been put there. Unlike before, where there was nothing installed before, which means that you have just successfully installed the Active Directory and DNS server. So what we're going to do from here is the same thing we did across on our Vista machine. We're going to go to Network Sharing Center, and we're going to make sure that Network Discovery is on. And then you go to Manage Connections, and of course same thing, you right click here, you go to Properties, and you're going to select version 4. Of course use the following IP, and we're just going to give it an IP address, 192.2. And the IP address we used for the server is the default gateway we're going to use for the client, 192.168.10.2, and we're going to use that for the preferred DNS server. So we're going to want to test to see if we can communicate between the two machines. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the command prompt, we're going to type ping and type in the IP address of the server. Once that's completed, we see sent for, received for. So the machines are able to communicate with one another, which is excellent. Okay, so what we're going to want to do now is we're going to go to My Computer and select Properties. Now you're going to notice here that the computer says Workgroup. We're going to want to change that. So what you're going to do is you're going to select Settings, Continue, and we're going to go into Change, and we're going to type in the domain name Jabari, and we're going to select OK, and it's going to ask you for the username and password for the domain Jabari, and I'm going to type in administrator as the username, and the password will be the password that we've used throughout the video. We're going to select OK, and you're going to see welcome to the Jabari domain. Of course, it's going to tell you that you have to restart your computer in order to save the changes. So we're going to select close, and we're going to restart the computer now. And once the machine has restarted, you're going to see Chinnor PC/Chinnor. This is not the domain. What you're going to want to do is press switch user and go over into other, and you're going to see log on to Jabari. Now before you can log on here, what you're going to need to do is add a user to the server so that the client will be able to log on. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our server, we're going to select Start, Server Manager, we're going to go down to Roles and Active Directory Domain Services, Active Directory Users and Computers, and we're going to select the domain that we created. We're going to go into Users, and we're going to right click here, and we're going to click New, and I'm going to go to User. I'm going to type the name, no last name, just for the purpose of this tutorial. Going to select next, and then you're going to go to finish, and we see the user Chinol has been added. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go back to our client and type in Chinol, and we're going to type in the password, and it's going to welcome us to the domain. And of course, to check and ensure that we are part of this domain, you go to Start, go to My Computer, go to Properties, and we see, and the domain has been changed to jabari.com. Now we're just going to connect one more machine to the server. We're going to select Windows XP, which is a legacy system, and install it to the server. What we're going to want to do is we're going to want to add another user. Now once XP has been loaded, what you're going to want to do is ensure that, of course, file sharing is also on this machine. You're going to want to go into your network and ensure that your network sharing, of course, is on. Properties. Same thing for command prompt. We're going to type ping. All have been received. Go into properties. And of course the password. And you're going to see welcome to the Jabari domain. You press OK, and of course you're going to have to restart your computer in order to continue on. And we're going to select options, and we're going to see Celestin this computer, and if you press the drop down arrow, we're going to see the Jabari domain. So what we're going to do is type in, make sure that the username is correct, of course. Now to ensure that everything is on the Jabari domain, we're going to go to properties, and we're going to go to computer name, and we see domain jabari.com. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you again soon.